Hi, we're here at the Coffee Corner Show, once again bringing one of our Filipino Americans in focus. We are so proud of this gentleman, Marlon Saria. He is the nurse, scientist, and director for the John Wayne Cancer Center in St. John's Hospital.
Santa Monica.
In Santa Monica, that's where my son was born.
That's really
So this is a lovely place. We're at the California Endowment, and we're at the NCEMNA Summit 2019. We're going to be talking about policies, mostly.
That's correct.
And you're one of the speakers, right after the keynote speaker. Talk to me about what you'll be talking about today.
So I am talking on behalf of the Filipino Association of America. We were invited to come here, and NCEMNA stands for the National Coalition for Ethnic Minority Nursing Associations, and it's an umbrella organization of different ethnic minority groups. The Filipino Nursing Association, the Hispanic Nursing Association, the Black Nursing Association, and then there's the Native American. I am not directly involved with NCEMNA, so I'm sure I'm forgetting an organization there. But you get the point. So it's an umbrella organization for different minorities. I'm local, so when PNA asked me if I could represent them to speak at this conference, of course I have to say yes.
Now you say you're local. So where are the headquarters for the Filipino Nurses Association?
PNA, we used to have a headquarters where the president resides. We used to not have. It wasn't a moving headquarters, but now we actually did have an inauguration for a national office in New Jersey.
Nice.
So that was as of last year. We have a national office in New Jersey.
And then do we have a satellite office in California?
We don't have a satellite office, but we do have members all across the United States.
Wonderful.
Member chapters.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if you wanted to invite the Philippine Nurses Association Southern California membership base, do we just go through you, or how does that work?
You can go through me and I will link you to them. I'm only saying that because I'm not on the board for the Southern California region. But I can definitely get in touch with the chapter.
Wonderful.
They're all here today. Most of them are here today.
And did you already speak about what you're about to talk to me
Not
about?
yet.
Okay,
not
talk
yet.
to us about that.
So before I even can tell you about what I'm going to talk about, let me just give you a really brief story.
Sure.
So I'm a nurse. I was in bone marrow transplant.
Wow.
And then we have a physician who came into UCSD in San Diego to establish the brain tumor program in San Diego. He met me. I was working on my PhD then, and he invited me to work with him. And he gave me this idea to focus my dissertation research on family caregivers.
Nice.
And he said that family caregivers are neglected in the healthcare setting.
That's true.
And rightfully so, because we need to take care of the patients and the patient's needs. But we often neglect the caregivers. Unfortunately, neglecting the caregivers can mean a lot of things.
Right.
And outcomes for the patients themselves may not be as optimal if we don't take care of the caregivers and their needs.
Sure.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm focus my research on family caregiving, and that's what I will be talking about here today.
I'm so excited to listen to you because that actually hits home.
Yes.
I'm the family caregiver for a sister who's cancer stricken. It's been coming back every 10 years. She's on her third bout, fourth stage, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Plus, we as Filipino Americans, we're mostly home care agency owners and or are care providers.
That is correct.
So this hits home, and I can see you're wearing the Barong Tagalog, so you're loud and proud with your Filipino heritage.
I am. So we're the Filipino Nursing Association amongst the blacks, amongst the Hispanics, and so we need to represent.
Sure.
Because if we don't, who else will?
Right. So how many are you here in terms of representation?
I do not know what the numbers are. I mean, we can get that to you later, but I don't know how many of us are actually here today.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you. Now, I'm really proud because nurse scientists, not everybody gets to be a nurse scientist. It takes a lot of years, a lot of research.
It took me a lot of years, for sure.
And oncology.
We're not going to talk about it.
No, and oncology.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of things
that
happening.
hits every home, almost.
There was a recent
What is
article
the stats on that?
about oncology and oncology nursing.
Right.
And the question is, isn't that depressing, and why are you in that
Okay,
specialty?
you ask the question, you answer it. Is
So
it depressing?
It can be depressing. I mean, we do see a lot of patients, we do see a lot of sad stories, but we tend to focus on the sad stories. If you look at the bigger picture, you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, there's a lot of really great stories out there too. Like with all the new therapies that we're
So we
getting
can be
now.
hopeful.
We can be hopeful.
That's good. That's good news. And Paul here, my associate, who's behind the camera, he's camera shy, but sometimes I get to have him on this side of the camera, will be, if with your permission, taking a full, Paul, if we can, video of his speech so that we can actually
Sure.
post it on our podcast. But this has been a pleasure. I know you're maybe trying to get ready to go in there.
Yes.
Anything else for our kababayans? A few words, inspirational, whatever it is that you'd like to share.
So,
This moment.
okay. So that's the most difficult part for me. If you ask me to talk about caregiving, I can give you a talk right away. But when you say inspire people,
You're already inspiring me. What are you talking
But what
about?
I usually do is I just look at the camera or look at the audience and try to talk to myself amongst the audience.
Yes, do that.
And always say that what's holding you back from doing the things that you love to do? And there shouldn't be anything holding you back. I have a lot of failures, but I just kept on going. So I am where I am right now because I kept on going. Don't
Paul
let
and
failure
I
be.
know about that. I mean, everybody experiences that. But tell me when you knew exactly this is for me, oncology. I am going to pursue this. Blood, sweat, and tears, sleepless nights of studying. I'm sure it came to you. Was it at a young age? Was it in your teens? Was it in adulthood?
I used to talk about passion, and then I say that I'm passionate about my patients. I'm passionate about trying to help my patients and now the family caregivers. Until I gave an inspirational talk to a group of students, and one of the students, very young age, asked me, "What is your why? Like, what do you mean?
That's
What is your
right.
why? What is your purpose?" Like, you're right. Like, I'm just doing this because I'm getting all the awards, I'm getting all the recognition, I'm getting satisfaction from that. But when I started asking myself, what is my why? What is my purpose? And that's when I figured that, like what I said about the barong, like if
Yes.
no one will do this, if I will not do this, who else will?
Any plans to run for office?
No. Same thing for patients. If no one else will look at their needs, if no one else will look at the caregivers and make sure that they are not neglected, who will?
And you thought you couldn't speak in front of a camera. Well done. This is Thelma with Marlon here at the Coffee Corner Show.